announcement has been paid for by Big F Pictures.
And let us interview you here. So we're going to talk about everything that you did while you were here in Atlanta and what else you got going on out there. So tell us a little bit about how you got interested in wrestling in general, and was it your first subject, or how did you fall into actually getting involved with wrestling?
It was always a plan in the family household, and Hulk Hogan toys for my older brothers were the one with the rubber one that had like that automatic double bicep pose.
Oh yeah, the python.
Yeah, that and the Jim Dugan, I think it was, right?
Yep, Hacksaw Jim Dugan.
Yeah, that was always around, and then after that, like after the whole red and yellow phase,
and like he went to school for it. I went to school for business and everything, and we just kind of built this like rapport with everything.
Now that's a great combination. So you people that are regular listeners to Neal Pruitt's Secrets of WCW Nitro, I just need to put a little disclaimer at the beginning of this. If you're not like a film geek or into making films, or if you just want to hear about wrestling, this probably wouldn't be the week for you. So that's a little warning. So we got that out of the way. So let's keep on going around the master of audio without question. Wow, I was impressed with all your levels.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. This is Joe Zarillo here, the youngest of the Zarillo family. I did most of the audio on the film, and to answer your question, I pretty much got into it just because I've been around him and basically Frank, and you know how it is. Basically, it's like he'll create something, and it's just because you're there, it's, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And then that's kind of how we all fell into it. Basically, it's just a family team affair, pretty much.
Yeah, I was impressed with the audio. Really, I really liked it.
I appreciate that a lot, because first time for me, so it was kind of mostly a guessing game. Like I've had experience like in audio. I went to school for audio, Full Sail University down in Winter Park, Florida, and my thing was music mixing, and that's what I do now. But I know audio post production for a film is like a completely different animal. But obviously they asked me to do it, so it was a big challenge for me. But that's my first try, so I did what I could, and I'm happy that somebody like you approves of it. Oh man, well done. We'll come back to a little bit of how you put the mix together, what equipment you used, how long it took you, everything like that. So thanks a lot, Joe. Good to have you here. Thanks.
I'm Nicholas, and I'm middle child, I guess you'd say. And
Nicholas and I can relate to each other.
Yeah, there you go. And,
I'm in the middle of boys too, so we'll talk later.
You're not gonna like this one, though. You might not like this one though. Back then I was a Sting fan. I was a big Sting guy, so I'm just gonna put that out there.
Love Sting.
As far as being part of the team, I was a producer on this one. My passion was always, it started out always as I always wanted to be a boxer. That never came to fruition, so I gradually went over to acting, and just being in that realm, being on film sets and stuff like that, I was able to use things that I learned from there and seeing, and help transfer that into the team, because it's with us, it's like when one brother does something, we kind of just always stick together. So that's where I came in.
Platform as Amazon or Netflix or one of those things like that, or the shelf. I have a full screenplay, which was I'm backed by the author of it. He's a New York Times best-selling author. The subject of it is 100% behind me, so now our next step is looking for funding. But I truly believe that this one would, what we're able to do with the wrestling one, to get it to San Diego Comic-Con and win Best Documentary there. Yeah, I truly believe, telling you here first, Neal, I truly believe that we can get to the top of the industry with the screenplay that I have now. I truly believe that.
I'm not surprised. That's a hard foundation or whatever. Some other videos that just came across our desk, when we were at Turner, just sent to us out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I thought you guys really captured what it was like to follow somebody who's so passionate and so dedicated to being a professional wrestler, and the odds of that happening are so slim that people would still put forth that kind of effort. That's pretty impressive. And we're talking about QT Marshall, the person that you made the film about. Can you tell us how you got hooked up with him, and kind of what your relationship is?
Yeah. What happened was there was I don't know if you remember, Neal, the Tough Enough thing that was going on there.
Absolutely, yep.
The last one that they had, we made like a for fun video. Me and my brother Nick over there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Reach out, see what can happen. So he reached out to the company that produced the book. They put him in touch with the author.
Yeah.
They gave the author all Frank's contact information, and the author wound up reaching out to Frank, and he said, "Oh well, I wasn't going to call you, but then I looked you up, and I saw that you were in Comic-Con. I saw that you won Best Documentary in Comic-Con, and I decided, well, you're hungry, you're young, you're hungry, you're not in the business completely yet. I want to see what you can do with my book."
Wow.
And that's pretty much how that blossomed.
That's
Is
great.
because of this movie, because of the Comic-Con win. It's a step. It's a stepping stone for us.
So just in case you're keeping score here, Frank Carr is a friend of theirs who's also into finance and a businessman. And Frank Zerillo is the director, documentary filmmaker, along with his brothers that are around the table here with us on Neal Pruitt, Secrets of WCW Nitro. Let's get into a little bit, Joe, on the audio. We thought that's one thing I was impressed with, just because I know how tough it is for a whole film to last that long, to be able to keep decent levels, to bring the music in at the right time, to write the music, to produce the music. I mean, tell us what you did physically to get to that point at the end of the film.
Well, from a technical standpoint, I guess, because I didn't actually do the field recording. We had other guys do that. I was down in Miami at the time, my day job, which is managing a recording studio down there. So I'm kind of used to levels and certain things, like, and, you know, from mixing music, but I know it's a different thing. So they reached out to me and said, "We need this done. We need it done right away." What was it, a festival that you had?
Actually, it was Comic-Con.
Was it for that?
Something.
It was
I'm
a
pretty sure
deadline.
it was Comic-Con.
Deadline.
To send it in.
We shipped his laptop to Miami overnight.
Yeah, so they literally overnighted the laptop because I didn't have the program. The Final Cut is what we did it on. Final Cut Pro, is it?
Wow.
Final Cut
So they shipped
X.
the whole laptop down, overnighted it. I grabbed it. Like, I have to do a whole project basically in one day, like the whole audio for the entire film. Like, I have to balance it out, level it out, all the clips, everything. And this is my first time ever doing this, so it's like, okay, let's so I went to my studio, let's see what we can do here with this. Have a whole movie, about an hour and a half of footage of that I need to get done basically in a day, because we had to overnight it back and so they could submit it, so they could bounce it out and print it out and get it to the festival. But so I basically started. Oh, go ahead.
You were that close on a deadline to get to the festival?
Yeah, right. It was
Yeah,
pretty much.
Wow. Hey, nothing
Once
like
we
pressure.
got it, we had to send it like
I was
the
yelling,
next day.
yelling through them to him. It wasn't direct yelling.
So it's nothing like pressure to get things done. And I think that's one thing you have to do as a young filmmaker or as a video producer in general. I know, if I didn't have deadlines, that could be trouble, because I need deadlines to get things done. And you have to put yourself on a deadline.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't advise you doing it the way the Zerillo family's done it here, but
I agree.
it is something you have to deal with. And I just want to let you all know that I'm going to earn that honey back here in a minute. Once we get off the air, we're going to explain a little bit about how to do the audio better next time, an easier workflow. Not better, because it was brilliantly done, but the workflow of how to do it, I'll help you out next on that. So you're going to have to get that pizza loan back on the table. You can forget about all that.
High interest.
So little brother, you look good on camera. I know it's oh, you're the littlest brother, that's right.
Yeah.
You're the middle brother. Why did I know that? Why wasn't I on there? So were you taxed sometimes being the audio person, or that's not always the most glamorous job in the world, but it's probably sometimes more important than running the camera, honestly. Were you taxed with that?
I did some of the shooting with the camera. I didn't do the majority of it though.
Yeah. Did you do some of the audio too, or who's involved doing the audio?
Yeah. We didn't want to. Yeah.
So the Frank twins, they were doing the audio. So
Audio,
did
camera.
you run camera too, Frank Carr?
I did some of the camera work, some of the lighting, a lot of the audio work. It was a one-man band.
So let's talk about that. What camera specifically did you use on this, and what format did you shoot in? Kind of what is your workflow?
Canon 70D. Chopped it up on Final Cut 10. It was a program that I had given to me through Full Sail. We had to use it to work on. Chopped it, my computer's video card blew up or whatever.
That's how we did it, right?
Does that how it work?
Frank is the one that, for the most part,
Well,
took
yeah.
most of the soundtrack.
Yeah, I put all the music where I wanted it and just made him, fix the levels of how he think it should go. Certain points, like where the bang of the mat of the wrestler gets slammed to, where the volume should go. That stuff like that, I don't have any knowledge of that. But in terms of where the music was placed, yeah, that was where I wanted it. Yeah.
So my question is, most people, when they edit a film, they will really get the dialogue down.
Yeah.
And then they'll start filling in the B-roll. In other words, the A-roll is a person speaking.
Yeah.
And then the B-roll is what covers up those. And we have Band-Aids that cover up cuts.
Yep.
It's true. And that's how you get from point A to point B. And then sometimes the music dictates when you bring the VO or voiceover or the off-camera line or the narration from the person being interviewed in. That's how it kind of flows. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you
for having us.
all for being on Neal Pruitt's Secrets of WCW Nitro.
Pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
I just have one thing to say. Not only do I work for Bigfpictures, but I also work for another company a long time ago.
World Order.
I was always black and white.
See the similarities now? You see it, right?
Not that it matters, but that was not sanctioned by the New World Order. He showed us a great t-shirt, NWO for life, and we're all sitting here and be friends for life. I'm very impressed on how y'all come together and brought this, to a hopeful next project and a very successful this project. And I congratulate QT Marshall for putting his life out there and his family to be able to let you in and get a peek on our crazy world and how it turns out. And I encourage you all to go check out The Wrestler. And where can they find it up next? Where are you going with it this summer, this fall? What's your goals?
Next week we're going to the Cosmic Film Festival, and then the following week, what was the name of it? I forgot.
Festival South Festival in Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Hattiesburg?
Yeah, and we're submitted into a number of festivals. I don't even know what's coming next, to be honest with you. So we're hoping, there's a lot coming. Hopefully, there's a lot coming up. Hopefully, but there's gonna be a lot of travel involved. But the end game is Netflix or Amazon Prime. We're working on distribution right now, and it's a statistic that I've heard from, from someone today. I don't want to say any names, and I heard from a distributor himself too, that 99.9% of indie films don't get distributed and don't see the light of day. So the fact that we're having that meeting and stuff like that, it's a very humbling thing. Something that just came as a idea, is taking it as far as we're going with it, and it's a lot of life with it, but it's amazing where it's taken us.
So I'm happy to be friends with Frank now, so he can give me my next job. Since he was somewhat impressed with my work back then, I could still do stuff like that.
Still am.
Maybe even add some flair to his projects. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very much. Is there anything else you want to talk about or say about what's going on?
QT, right now I don't want to give away the ending, but he does now own and operate, or co-own and operate a wrestling school called Power Factory in Norcross, Georgia, I believe, right?
It's Northeast Atlanta.
Yeah, you can go to Power Factory on Facebook, One Fall, right? And Glacier is a co-owner with it. And the website will be up soon. But
Our website is
bigfpictures.com.
All our social media should be on there, right, Dan? Also, we have a calendar on there that tells you where we're going to be in the next few months. We try to update it as often as possible. So it'll keep everybody in the know.
Yeah, like I said, I was very impressed with your work. Especially the first time out, wow, you guys hit it big already. And the big F is very explanatory. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you
for having us.
all for being on Neal Pruitt Secrets of WCW Nitro.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I just have one thing to say. Not only do I work for Bigfpictures, but I also worked for another company a long time ago. I was always black and white.
See the similarities now? You see it, right?
Not that it matters, but that was not sanctioned by the New World Order. He showed us a great t-shirt, NWO for life, and we're all sitting here and be friends for life.